All right, guys, I want to introduce Marc Baxter. He, like you guys, was, where you guys aspire to be high-level athletes. He was a high-level athlete in football. He went and started in college. Fell short of his aspiration to be a professional football player. But now he's excelling in the business world. He's an entrepreneur, motivational speaker. So I wanted to bring him in and kind of talk to you guys and kind of emphasize on I want you guys to maximize your exposure and realize that there, as high as your aspirations are, there's more to it than just athletics, but to make the most of this experience, guys. So pay attention, give this guy respect. Definitely he's going to command your respect, and let's give him some of our time. And first give him a welcome. Team final welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Good.
That's what's up. Listen, I promise y'all this. I know y'all just practice. Y'all ain't trying to hear nobody come and talk y'all ears off. I know. I've been there, done that. But if I promise, I keep it interesting. I promise I won't be no fraud with y'all. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it a beam with y'all. Can I rap? Can we do this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Again, he said my name is Marc Baxter, right? I'm from Philadelphia, North Philadelphia to be specific. So just imagine, y'all see North Philly, some of y'all might be from North Philly. It was probably worse when I was coming up. So I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of access. But I had sports. I didn't get a lot of love from my family. In fact, I know a lot of my friends better than I even know my family. And I'm talking parents, brothers, and sisters. So that's how real my life was. But I had sports, right? So what I learned to do, I poured all of my pain and all of my anguish into sports. I left it all on the field. I'm sure y'all hear coaches talk all the time. Like, don't cheat us, leave it all on the court, right? Y'all heard that before. I learned to leave it all on the field. So yeah, I heard a lot. I went to the worst schools in the city. I went to Still School Elementary, Cook Middle, Junior High School, now it's middle school, but that's still one of the worst schools in the city. I went there just trying to find a way to get away from my frustrations and make something better of myself. Because I always wanted better. I didn't want to just be like all of my friends or everybody in the community. Not saying I was an angel, but I always wanted more. So in the 9th grade, I went to Bodine High School for International Affairs. So I left the worst middle school in the city and got accepted to a magnet school. Was I an A student? No. Was I the smartest? No. Was I hungry? Absolutely. No doubt. I was very hungry for success. And the reason I went to Bodine High School, they didn't even have a football team. I was always a star standout in Little League. I played for the Logan Cowboys organization. I was a standout. I was getting recruited by high schools while I was in Little League. So why did I go to Bodine High School for International Affairs? Well, again, I told you my family, I didn't have no love in the family. I didn't have no mentors. So I was just doing the best I could. I had a boy from my hood that went to Bodine, and he's somebody that I looked up to. So I followed him to Bodine. Now, when I got to Bodine, I realized, like, maybe I can start playing basketball. I was still a good athlete. I was much better in football, plus I was a quarterback. So that was to be, elevated and maybe taken to a higher level. But I was going to settle and try to transition to basketball because that's all the school had to offer. My Little League coach came and transferred me to Mass Bomb in the 10th grade. Not my mom, not my dad, not my older brothers or my sister, because I'm the youngest. My Little League coach came and transferred me to Mass Bomb High School. Make a long story short, I went to Mass Bomb High School. I was featured, did my thing, blew it up, broke records, scholarship to college. I was being recruited by a lot of schools all across the country. And again, because I didn't have the leadership and the guidance, I didn't have nobody to talk to and say, what's the best school for my future? What school should I go to that definitely correlates with who I am, with my strengths? I didn't have that. So again, I went to Temple. I stayed close, took the scholarship to Temple. It was a great situation. All the way up to college, like I told you, I had a lot of frustration. I had a chip on my shoulder. I felt like I was cheated out of life. So I worked real hard. I left it all on the field. But when I got to the college level, I got a little fly. You know what I mean? Like y'all about to go to college in a couple years. Don't do what I did. I got a little fly. Still worked hard, but I started reading my own press. Marc Baxter, leading candidate for Big East Rookie of the Year. Marc Baxter playing 3 positions and one. He playing quarterback. He like Cordell Stewart. He's playing quarterback. He's playing receiver, and he got the point. He's 4th in the nation in punt returns. Oh, you can't tell me nothing. Coming from where I come from, coming from the streets, and you throw me up in here with all these people from all across the country, and they really accepted me. Oh, you tell me I really can do this? Okay, let's do it. So again, still was rocking out, still doing my thing, but my effort slipped a little bit. You know, instead of staying out later than everybody at practice like I used to, now I'm running in because I got girls to call. You know what I mean? I got parties to go to. You know what I'm saying? I got some work to do and I'm going to get it done, but I got girls to call. I got parties to go to. You get my drift? You know what I'm saying? So as a result, I balled out every year. They end up changing my position. We got a new coaching staff my sophomore year, so they took my quarterback from me, took my punt return from me. So now I thought I was going to have a cakewalk to the league. No doubt. Everybody telling me all year, all my life, that I was the man, that I was destined for the NFL. Not to mention that when I came out of high school, Marvin Harrison was the Catholic League Player of the Year, and I was the Public League Player of the Year. Marvin Harrison's going to the Hall of Fame in football. He's probably the best receiver other than Jerry Rice, maybe Randy Moss. You know what I mean? I didn't know he was going to be that great, but that's who I'm up against. So no doubt I'm going. But again, gotta hurry up from practice because I gotta call them girls. I got parties to go to, and again, I'm Marc Baxter. So regardless of what it is, my skill level is so high that even if I gotta work harder, I'll work harder because I'm going to the league. Now I'm a senior, got a big time agent, all around, everybody talking to me. My draft status wasn't high. In fact, they were saying I was going to get drafted late or I was going to be a free agent. Now I told you they switched my position, so now I'm a wide receiver. I put up okay numbers, but not extraordinary numbers. I was at a losing school. And again, no excuses, but that's just my situation. So when it came to the NFL, damn, I ain't hear my name. Maybe I'll get a free agency call. Damn, my phone work? Jones still work? No calls. You mean to tell me I ain't go to the league? Now my agent telling me, why don't you go to the World League? Why don't you go to a developmental league and work your way to the league? Wow. So just when I thought I had the world at its knees, where I was totally in control, you mean to tell me that my lifelong dream, my lifelong love is about to be taken from me? I couldn't fathom it. Still thought I was the man. Still thought I could do it. Make a long story short, I had to make a decision. Am I going to go and run and keep chasing this dream? And I was only going to catch it on the low end, because if I went through the back door of the World League or the AFL, one of those leagues, I still would have had to work super hard to get to the NFL. And I probably wouldn't have had a long career because I would have to go the long route. I never was a halfway or backdoor type dude. I'm first class. So my decision was forget football, because ultimately I had to get success. I had to reach success because you know what I'm from. My whole mission was to run as far away from that pain, from that anguish, from the hood that I could. So again, I didn't have football. Was I depressed? No doubt. Was I devastated? Absolutely. Did I have hope? I had hope. Because I always knew when I would leave it all on the field and when I would work harder than anyone else, all I had to do was learn how to translate that into the business world or transfer that into life. So I took the first job that I could get that was reasonable, because I did finish. I had my degree. Got a degree in, now it's travel and tourism management. Then it was sport and marketing management. So I had a bachelor's degree. And then I got into the work world, still a little depressed, feeling myself, because I'm like seeing Marvin Harrison, Keyshawn Johnson, Terry Glenn. That's the receiver core I came out against. One of the best receiving cores ever. So that was just my luck, you know. So here we go. I'm working the real world, but I'm getting hope because I'm I'm making some money, I'm doing some things, but it wasn't enough. And I realized that, wow, if I would have worked a little harder and not squandered opportunity, I would be in the NFL. So that was the first lifelong lesson that hit me hard. I didn't take advantage of opportunity, or I would have been in the NFL. Now I'm in the work world around all these people that have no clue of how close I was, and I'm not interested in telling them, because who wants to talk about how they didn't succeed their goal, how they didn't accomplish their ultimate goal. So I didn't even want to talk about my football career or none of that, because I felt like a fraud. I felt like, what is the need of talking about it? I didn't close the deal. So now I see it, I need more, so I needed to go back to college to get a master's degree. And again, I wasn't an A student. I probably wasn't even a B student in some instances. But I had a load of energy. I knew what I wanted. Once I focused on something, I knew how to maintain and be consistent and resilient until I got it. So I thought that that would be enough for me to obtain a master's degree. And sure enough, they accepted me back into graduate school. Well, they accepted me to graduate school. But you remember when I told y'all that I was hurrying up to call the girls and to run to the parties? I also let people do some of my work for me and type some of my papers for me. I took some shortcuts. Hey, I'm human. I took some shortcuts. So now in graduate school, guess what happened? Boom, 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 boom. I got buried because those shortcuts I took in undergraduate, now I had to overcompensate in graduate school just to be normal. I didn't even know how to use the library. So because I took shortcuts in my undergraduate, now I got so much of a load on my shoulders in graduate school just to be regular. But I did it though, because I'm no quitter, and I made the adjustment. Was it hard? It was more hard than it had to be. Because if I would not have squandered those opportunities, I probably would have been in the NFL, and it would have probably been a much easier ride for me to get my master's degree. But I stuck it out, and I accomplished it. So here I am with a master's degree. I finally could accept the fact that I'm not in the NFL, but I would never approach another situation again without maximizing the opportunity. So now look at yourselves for a second. You're high schoolers. Okay, yeah, Nike supporting y'all. Y'all here with Rob, the people that do it. They produce McDonald's All-Americans. They put Bulls in the league. Okay, that's not y'all though. You see, the thing about life is that you got to walk your lane, and you don't know what your lane has waiting for you. So along the way, don't squander opportunity. And let me tell you how not to. There's things in life that are called controllables, and there's things that are called uncontrollables. Question for you. Can you control who your parents are? You're born with who you're born with, right? You can't control it. You're not even born yet. Can you control who your teachers are? You get your roster, you see what classes you go to, and that's who your teachers are. Can you control who your coaches are? Y'all wanted to come to Nike AAU, so y'all got to accept the coaches that are here. Can you control what people say about you? No, right? Can you control how tall you get? No. Right, you can't control those things, right? So we don't worry about those things. We don't worry about those because you know why? We need that energy to focus on the things we can control. Because again, we're not wasting any energy. We're not squandering opportunity anymore. Can you control how hard you work in class? Yeah. No doubt. Can you control how much you put out here on the court and leave it between the lines? Can you control that? Yes. Okay. Can you control the friends you choose? No doubt. Can you control the decisions you make, whether you're going to ride out with these boys and do something not so good, or you're going to go in the house and spend that extra 30 minutes to an hour studying because you know that the tests are coming up and you know you're not prepared? Can you control that? No doubt. No doubt. You got to work on three things: character, conduct, and commitment. Who knows what character is? Hey, listen, y'all ain't gonna tell me y'all shy. I done seen y'all slamming, doing reverse slams, this and that. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Listen, in order to be the best that you can be, right, ain't no shyness in it because this your life. Go for it. Somebody take a shot at it. Who knows what character is? What's up?
Character is like who you are.
Oh, that's the man. He the man. See, and you was holding that in, but guess what? Other people needed that. So I'm glad you said it because that's not just for you. Other people, probably half the people here needed that. Character is who you are. Now listen, stay with me because we're keeping it 100, right? We're keeping it a bang, right? Not who you project in front of other people. See, not who you put on that Superman mask and all that, you know what I mean? You drink backwards. Not that bull. Not that bull. You know, oh, I got some new things, let me tie them up. Oh, it's Easter, I got the joint matching, okay, I got my belt on, okay. Not that bull. Not that bull. See, character is who you really are. That's who you really are when you're looking in the mirror and ain't nobody around. That's when you thinking like that, I was really scared of that, but you're scared to say it because you think it's just you. But everybody's scared of something anyway, so you're wasting your time anyway. That's what character is, how you view yourself and how you're viewed by God. That's the real you. That's it. Ain't no future in front, and with that, you can't. That's who you are. Who you choose to show other people, that's up to you. You'll eventually get exposed anyway, but your character is who you really are. We got to build character. Because with me, I was born with nothing. I'm from not much, so I didn't have character. No one taught me character. You know how I learned character? Through football. Football taught me how to love. Football taught me how to receive love and give it. Football taught me how not to be selfish. Football taught me how to give it all, put it all on the line, not just for myself, but for other people. Y'all experienced that in basketball, I know. But that's character, that's the first thing. You gotta build that. Who knows what conduct is? Give it a shot, young boy. What's conduct? It don't matter what you say, I'm still impressed because you raised your hand. What's conduct? It got something to do with how you act.
How you act in school?
Oh, no doubt, that's the man, yeah. How you act in school is a part of your conduct. Conduct is your behavioral pattern. It's your behavior pattern. Now we talked about character, now that's conduct, that's your behavioral pattern. So you gotta establish conduct. You gotta build character, you gotta establish conduct. You can't be wishy-washy. You think you'll have a lot of friends if some days you all irate and talking wild and crazy and you friendly to people and then the next day you angry and uptight, not speaking to them? You think you'll have a lot of friends that way? Right. So at least establish a consistent conduct, okay? Here's a biggie. Here's a biggie here. Commitment. That's a biggie. And this is why commitment is a biggie. You all are making a commitment now to be here with the AAU in the Nike camp. That's a commitment. Every time we make a commitment, someone always challenges our commitment. Let me ask y'all a question. When y'all want to pull away from y'all friends and say, I want to practice more basketball, and they sitting on the corner doing what they do, blowing trees, whatever they do. I mean, y'all know what they do. I ain't going to put it all out there, but y'all know what they do. So, when you pull away from that, and you say, I want to study for the test, or I want to practice for the AAUs, are they happy with you? Or are they saying, come on, man, hang out with us a little bit. You always playing basketball. You ain't got to go do that right now. Don't they say that sometimes? They're going to be saying that for the rest of your life. You're always going to have to defend your commitment. Whenever you say, I want to go back to school and get another degree, or I want to go to college to get a degree, or I want to take these courses to better myself, or I want to go here and learn how to do this, or learn. Someone's always going to challenge your commitment, so be ready to defend it. You're always going to have to defend your commitment. So you build character, you establish conduct, and you defend your commitment. Life is cumulative. And what that means is that everything counts. So let's say in school, you start out the semester, you got an A, first semester, so you're feeling great. First report card period, you walking away with an A. So you start slacking off a little bit because you're sitting on an A. Next semester, you get a C minus. I'm still cool because I got that big A sitting in the front, so I ain't fall that much. Now you got a D minus. Last semester you start to sweat a little bit, but you still keep looking at that A, so you're still feeling good about yourself. Then you get another D minus. Cumulatively, you're going to walk with probably a C minus, maybe a D, if you don't behave yourself well and they slide that D at you. So you squandered a golden opportunity because you didn't maximize the opportunity that was presented. Life is cumulative. That thing that you did when you was 5 years old that you thought you would get away with, now you find yourself 13, 14, 15 years old, and you're wondering, how could this happen to me? I thought I got away with that. No. Life has a way of giving you right back whatever you give it. That's why it's so important to capitalize on opportunity when it's presented to you. It's the thing about life. Now, are y'all cool? Am I keeping the beam? Are we good? We good? Because I ain't gonna be much longer, but I just want to make sure I keep my side of the agreement. You know what I mean? So, all right, you got two ways you can go in life. Both are hard. There's no shortcuts to success. It's hard. I don't even care if y'all here, y'all might got to do 1 year in college, or they change the rules, you might got to do 2, and you right in the league. It still ain't gonna be sweet. Y'all know what Biggie say, more money, more problems. That's real. Listen, it's not going to be sweet. It's nothing new under the sun. Everything is difficult. You got two difficult ways in life. You could be a shallow thinker and take the shortcut. Don't finish school. Try to take shortcuts in everything you do. Don't be a person of your word. Don't live up to your potential. And life is going to be hard for you. Very hard. And it's not going to get better because you didn't position yourself to be rewarded. So you got to live a reactive life. You got to wait to go on vacation. You got to wait to buy your girls something. You got to wait to buy your children some things. You got to wait to pay your bills because you didn't put yourself in position to be proactive. So you got to wait and be reactive and see what comes at you. So that's going to be hard for the rest of your life if you live a slacker life. Now, if you live the life that your coaches are trying to get you to live, being proactive, capitalizing off opportunity when it presents itself, it's going to be hard too. But guess what? Each level you get to, it gets easier and easier and easier. And guess what else you can do? You can be proactive because now you can make plans because you worked all week or you practiced all week, so you can have a day to chill and still feel good about yourself because you put the time in. See, that's the difference. Both routes are difficult. But as a slacker, it's going to be difficult for the rest of your life. And it's not going to get better. You got to rely on other people for your happiness. But being proactive and being obedient and listening to your parents and to your coaches and to your teachers, it's difficult too. But it gets easier. You get to make your own decisions, your own choices, and you have a certain amount of control over your life. So I encourage the latter of the two. All right, I'm about to bring y'all back home. See, we driving, right? And I'm about to pull back around and I'm going to park and then y'all free, all right? So here we go. Balance. Balance. Core. Y'all hear that a lot playing basketball, right? Balance. That's huge. But not just in basketball. It's huge for life. See, just think about balance. If you got a nice athletic position, you know what I mean? Your feet shoulder width apart, you know what I mean? Y'all from here. See, I'm football. I'm a little different because I got to get my, you know what I mean, my aggression on a little bit. But y'all more basketball, so y'all from here, all on y'all wide jump, all right? So, it's all about balance. See, if you balance, none of us can avoid adversity in life. But when you balance, when adversity comes, you just tilt, right? Then you get back balanced. But see, if you already tilted, when adversity comes, bang, you fall. Big difference. Big difference than to start from here or to start from down there. Way big difference. See, balance is everything. Everything has to be balanced or else you'll tilt and fall. So here's the question when you fall. How many times will you fall before you give up even trying to get back up? Oh, that's a hard place to be. That's a hard place to be, but I tell you what, if you look around you in society, you see plenty of people like that. And those are the very people that are going to challenge your commitment. Why do you want to better yourself? Why do you want to keep practicing? Why do you want to go back to school? Why do you want to do this? Because they've fallen and they've accepted mediocrity. They've accepted a lower level, so they don't even want you to get up higher. Be careful. Be aware. The way you avoid being in those situations is by maximizing your potential. All right, we close to home, right? So I'm about to hit an illegal U-turn, but don't tell nobody because I'm about to drop y'all off, right? All right, here we go. Y'all know that word balance that I was telling y'all about, right? We going to correlate balance with competition. Because, I mean, let's be fair. Coaches, parents, everybody, we're all competitive. We all want to be the best that we can be. Especially the players, the athletes. I know, I feel, let's not still live it. I'm way done playing football. I still play through other leagues, though. It's the competitiveness. That's why you see people that retire and like, no, I changed my mind. And you like, yo, why don't they just retire? You'll see. Very, very difficult. Very difficult. That competition is serious. But you got to be very careful with competition because if handled the wrong way, it can ruin you. And this is how. This is how. See, it's good to compete with each other when you're in a competitive setting, like on the court. But be careful trying to compete outside of, off the court and outside of where y'all supposed to be competing at, because this is what can happen. It can turn into emulation. And what emulation is when you start trying to be like someone else. See, competition can turn into that, especially when it's not a reasonable challenger. It can turn into emulation. And when you emulate others, when you try to be like others and do what they do, you know what you do? You rob yourself of the uniqueness that you were born with. See, we all have gifts. We all were born with certain talents and abilities. That's why some of y'all can jump higher than others. Some of y'all can run faster than others. Some of y'all got quicker hands. Some of y'all can think better. We all have gifts and talents. And when you don't balance out competition, it can become a negative. And this is how. You got a BMW and you got an Escort. Now, can the Escort race the BMW? Can it? Yeah, it can race it, right? Now, can an Escort beat a BMW? No, right? So if the Escort is trying to get a good picture of how fast it really is, should it keep racing the BMW? Probably not, because all it's going to do is keep frustrating them. Oh man, I'm trying to win, I'm trying to win, I'm trying to see where I'm at, but this car keeps beating me. So is that something good for the Escort to keep doing, or should it race something a little slower to give it a chance of winning? Keep his self-esteem up and keep him motivated to keep racing. That's where you are with competition. See, be careful in taking competition too far off the court, because you can fall into emulation, which is robbing yourself of your pure uniqueness and everything that you were born with, and it can cause a negative effect. But do y'all want to know? Because we right outside the crib now. I'm about to turn the car off. Y'all about to get out. You know what I mean? So we good. All right? So do y'all want to know, right, the secret about competition? I mean, if y'all want to know, because I've been letting y'all off the hook the whole speech. I've been letting y'all chill and fall back. We right outside the crib now. I need a show of hands on who want to know the secret of how to handle competition. I mean, at this tender age, y'all about to be in the mix now. I think y'all need to know. So I need a show of hands. Come on, man, give me something. Give me something. That's it. That's all I want to know. That's it. That's it. Okay, that's enough. I got some parents. I see your parents. I see okay. Cool. Hey, I got enough cooperation. I feel great. I ain't telling y'all. The best person to compete with is yourself. The best person to compete with is yourself. And this is why, for many reasons. One, you'll always get a victory. You always get a victory. Because you can always find a way to get better and do better. So you'll always get a victory. Number two, you'll always improve. It's you, for goodness sake. You ain't got to worry about what nobody's saying. You ain't got to worry about what this person thinks. If that person thinks you perform well, if this person thinks you shouldn't, you ain't gotta worry about none of that. So you'll improve, you'll always get a victory. Look what else you'll do. You'll always maximize your potential. And see, when you maximize your potential, see, I'm turning the car off now, right? You know what I mean? So y'all good, y'all good. I'm gonna leave the air on though, because I don't want to get all hot. I got a few more things to say. So you always maximize your potential. And finally, you'll always be the best you, the best me that you can be. Come on, say this together. Be the best me that I can be. Be the best me that I can be. Be the best me that I can be. One more, and everybody say it. Be the best me that I can be. Now go out and be the best you that you can be. You heard it here from Marc Baxter.